Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice. Want a little guidance on manifesting your dream job or just figuring out what the dream job is? Well, you've come to the right place. I have been a merry manifester for my whole life. I am literally doing my dream job and I have a net worth of over $1 million.
And the same can happen for you.
So you, my friend, can have it all. All you have to do is harness the power of the law of attraction, and I will show you how. Before we get started, will you do me a huge favor and just sprinkle some love on the like button? It really helps me out, so thank you. Which brings me to step one. You have to know what you want. Knowing what you want literally is over half of getting it. For some people like my sister, that was super easy. She always wanted to be an environmental engineer. Bump right out of the gate, and that job had this designed ladder. So all she had to do was follow each step. Go to college, get a master's, and although it took work, she knew exactly what to do. So if that is your experience, snaps off to you. But my experience was completely different. I was plagued by this idea of the perfect career, the best thing that I should do. I was drawing a total blank, and I had evolved out of pursuing my acting career, and I was definitely getting bored of the bartending, so I knew I had to do something. I just didn't know what. So if you are in that spot, this is how I got out of it. I said, what do I want? Not the job. What do I want the job to give me? And I wanted the job to give me lots of money. I wanted it to be flexible. I wanted it to always be changing. I didn't want it to have to do the exact same thing every day. So you can see the list was quite long, but do you see on the list there's nothing like, I'm going to be an architect or a secretary or an engineer. It doesn't say any of that. It says what I want the job to give me. These feelings and these attributes. When I had that, what happened? My best friend told me that he had like $20,000 of credit card debt. And I was like, oh my gosh, my friend, that scared the bejesus out of me. Let me help you. He's Eastern European, very proud man. And he's like, oh, Trice, I do not take charity. And I'm like, well, pay me, my friend, because I can help you. Now, I did not know that that was going to be my next job. I was just following the thread. I noticed that I enjoyed it and I had the money coming in. Now, did I quit my bartending job? Did I just say, oh, here it is, my manifestation has arrived? No, it doesn't happen like that. It shows up one piece at a time, one little thread at a time. And it was only when I went to India a few months later and I was sitting there doing yoga that I got my answer. It said, give what you want. To find your purpose or your dream life, give what you want. And I'm like, well, I want to be richer. So if I make other people wealthier, then I will get wealthier in return. And so I just decided, I chose to be a financial planner. You can do the same thing too. Just make a list of the things that you want for the job to bring into your life and let it evolve. Don't try to figure it out in 25 seconds so you can get to the next step. Let it unfold. And as you are doing this, you are gathering the energy and the focus of the universe, and they will bring you a piece of your manifestation, just like it brought me my first client. Now this next step is so freakishly easy. Anybody can do it. 5-year-olds do it all the time. And it's going to bring you all that you desire. You are over 50% done. That is the hardest part. So this brings me to step 2, which makes everything easy if you do it. Put it out there just by talking about it. You guys can see how I'm doing this. If you've watched more than one of my videos, you will know that I'm manifesting $1 million yearly income stream. I am just talking about it. I'm just putting it out there. Do you see how I'm not like saying, hey, bring me more customers. Hey, could you send money to my PayPal because I need this manifestation to come true? No, I'm not asking for anything. I am just putting it out there because I'm excited and happy to talk about it. Every job that I ever manifested happened this way. And that's the key. Do people ever ask you what you're up to, but maybe you're too embarrassed or too afraid to say what's truly in your heart? You might feel like you're going to be laughed at or people are going to judge you. I have this friend. He is like 45, almost 50. He was a computer programmer, made over $100,000 a year, and you know what he did? He quit and started driving an Uber because he wanted to go back to school to be a lawyer. Do you see how people could easily judge him by saying, hey, grow up, old man. You've had your chance. This is financial suicide. What are you doing? Going to be a lawyer at 50? But he will be a lawyer at 50 because he was brave enough to just put it out there and say, that's what I'm going to do. And it did take him about a year to work up the courage just to tell me that he was going to be a lawyer. That's why you have to be just a teeny bit brave. But it becomes super simple because it's fun to put it out there. I remember when my YouTube channel started, and video 1 and 2, guys, anytime you're a beginner, it's not going to be necessarily magic. And I was a little sheepish about saying it. And then I was reminded by a fellow Earthling that said, Trice, the sooner you start talking about your channel, the sooner the world will reward you. And they were so right. It's not about trying to do anything with it, trying to make a sale with it, anything like that. It is literally just talking about it when you feel inspired to talk about it. And that is what's going to bring the magic back to you. That's what's going to attract your dream job to you. In my financial planning practice, when I started talking about it, not to get more customers, just because I was excited with the first one, somebody else said, well, could I sign up? And another person said, oh, could I sign up? That's only then was I like, oh, this could be a great career. Warning, it could be scary for another reason. This is the universe leading you, not the corporate ladder leading you. The corporate ladder makes it really easy. You feel very safe and secure. If I get to this ring, then I can get to the next ring. And this is how you get what you want. That's perfect if a ladder like that exists. But if it doesn't, the universe will just lead you and it will look like, how the heck is this going to line up? You just have to surrender and trust. I promise it will. It always will. Step 3 is to follow an inspired action. Now, how do you know the difference between inspired action and forced action? I am going to do it my way versus harnessing the power of the universe to pull you to your manifestation. The easiest way that I can tell the difference is forced action is what I think I should. I'm always saying I should do that. That word should seems to be always involved when I'm trying to force my will. The second thing that happens is I feel like I'm trying super hard, almost maybe sometimes to tears hard. That's how I know I'm using forced action. For example, my last video, I could not get Photoshop to work. I kept trying. I was exhausted, but I kept trying, and it was not working. Then I looked over at my video screen, and I saw a still image of the video, and it just looked beautiful and resonated with me. I know this is off-brand, but I feel like the universe is telling me to take this screenshot and use that as the thumbnail. And that video has the highest amount of views in 2 days I've ever had, over 18,000 views. And some of it has to be because of the thumbnail. So do you see how Photoshop wasn't working? All that. I had to take a leap of faith and follow my heart to do this. That's a little microcosm of what it feels like to follow inspired action. And as soon as you are telling everybody about your thing, things will start magically coming to you. Then leads to more inspired action. It's kind of like trying to teach you how to swim by talking about it. It's impossible to feel it on your own skin. You just have to give it a whirl. You have to be brave. You have to talk about what you want, and you have to know what you want to attract. But then you will see the magical power of the universe of things coming your way. Now, here's a little caveat about inspired action. It might scare the hell out of you. For example, people are like, hey, Trice, you have an Instagram account? And this guy has always been sending me love letters, helping me get better. It's like, Trice, you really should have an Instagram account so people can follow you more. Well, Instagram scares the hell out of me. I'm like, holy heck, I just learned YouTube. Instagram seems like a whole ocean of learning. But I know the universe is calling me to do it. So do you see how even though there's fear, because it's unknown and it's like, looks hard to me, that I can still feel the call. That will happen for you too. The best way to say it is inspired action is something you feel like doing or resonates as a really good idea, even though it might scare your socks off. Which brings me to the fourth step. In order for you to live your dream life and have your dream career, you must evolve with it, no matter which avenue you're taking. A beautiful, strong corporate ladder or follow the impulse of the universe. In order for it to continue to be satisfying, you must evolve with it. And this is what I mean. I have a client, she got all her dreams. She mastered all the fundamental financial principles that I could teach her, and there was no other goal on her list. And she hadn't even hit 40 yet. And I said, my darling dearest, we need to do one of two things. I need to leave you here on the mountain because you've mastered everything that I could help you with. Or we need to come up with another dream. And there's no right or wrong answer to this, but I find life is most fun when you are growing. That's where the most excitement lies. And this lovely lady thought the same. So she came back and said, I got it. I am going to be the head honcho of my company. Just because she put it out there, within 6 months, she had already gotten a $5,000 raise and was on her way to achieve that. Now, if you're on the more Trice type path, it might not look so linear. For example, I was having a golf lesson and practicing my putting, and the instructor was about 65 years old, and it was the last lesson of the day. And he kept saying things like, oh, you're not gonna make that shot, you're gonna miss that shot, only 2% of people make that shot. And you would think I would be pissed, but it was so subconscious, you could tell. He was so over his job. I could tell this man used to love teaching golf, but he had stayed there way too long. And I was like, I never want that to happen to me. After about 8 or 9 years of just working by myself, I was like, I would love to collaborate and interact with people and touch more people's lives. And this YouTube idea was born. Now, do you see being a YouTube star and being a financial planner, how on paper they look totally unconnected? But because I was following the inspired action of my heart, and I had went back to step one and said, what do I want this new dream job, new dream career to give me? And made my list. I knew it was the perfect fit. Now, am I still doing my financial planning career? Yes. I didn't just shutter the company and say, nope, now I'm a YouTube star. I didn't do that. I just started putting the YouTube thing out there. And this allows me to grow into it. It will look a little messy when you're evolving, but I'm going to show you how it all lines up. Look at the trajectory of my life. I first was a fashion designer. Then I became an actress / bartendress. Then I became a financial planner, and now I'm a YouTube star. Do you see how all those things, all those jobs, led me to be more amazing at my current job? Fashion designer, that's why I have the cute outfits. Financial planning, that's how come I know so much about money. Bartending, that's how come I'm so good and amazing at talking to strangers. All these skills have brought me to where I am today. Nothing was wasted. So the same can happen to you. If you dare to let it be messy, if you dare to follow the beat of your heart. If you like this video and you want to flow with other like souls, just hit that subscribe button. And until next time, my darling earthling, ciao!